joining us now with reaction. Former New York City mayor. I would affectionately refer to him as Comrade Bill de Blasio when he was mayor. You're a moderate compared to them. And the worst part is I always feel compelled to be nice to you because you very sincerely said that you were sad that I left the state of New York years ago.
Yeah.
And you meant it. I said, did you really mean that?
Yes.
And you said yes. So it's very hard to be mean to you because you're kind of nice as a person.
There could be a chance for redemption. Come back. Come back and join us.
No, it'll cost me too much money, and the quality of life has deteriorated dramatically since I left. All right, here's what I want to ask you. Do you support the DSA's written ideas, what I just laid out? Do you support any of that? Is there anything there?
I'm not going to go point by point, but I disagree with plenty of items in their platform. But honestly, Sean, let's be real about these candidates. These individuals who are talking about not the DSA platform, they're talking about the issues that matter most to everyday people, which is raising wages, which is addressing the fact that people are feeling really economically stressed in this country. Even middle-class people are deeply worried about what's going on. And they want to get money out of politics. They want to make health care more affordable. When people talk about Medicare for all, El Sayed
you
and
are
Hong,
spinning their agenda.
No, wait. When they talk about Medicare for
their
all,
agenda.
No, when they talk about Medicare for all, I'm telling you, more and more Americans, you would be surprised how many people hear that and say, you know what? There are so many people being thrown off Medicaid. There's so many people who don't have
this is not what they're saying. They're
yes,
not
it's
saying
exactly what they're
they're
focused
saying
on.
is Congress chooses the president and judges. They want to pack the courts. Amnesty for illegals, abolish borders, abolish ICE, defund the Department of War, end all deportation, eliminate cash bail,
Sean,
establish a, well, it's in writing.
That's
I'll
the
run
DSA
it on my
platform.
screen.
God bless them.
Right,
I'm saying
but you're
you have two
defending them by
here.
deflecting, but they really want affordability.
No.
That's not what this agenda says.
These two candidates, we have two candidates who are winning tonight, El Sayed in Michigan and Hong in Wisconsin, who have talked about raising wages, lowering the cost of health care, getting money out of politics. They want to stop what's happening in Gaza. They want to stop the killing of innocent people. And by the way, that's majority positions in the United States right now. Everything I just said, the American majority agree with.
They want to defund the Department of War. Do you support that?
No. And again, Sean,
they want to
I'm
abolish.
amazed.
Hold on. They want to abolish ICE, amnesty for illegals, and abolish borders. Do you support that?
No, but Sean, wait a minute. I support amnesty.
Do you support eliminating cash bail, abolishing prisons, and defunding the police?
I support a path to citizenship for undocumented folks. That kind of reform we should have had a long time ago in this country, a long time ago. But that's, I don't even know why you want to talk about platform when that's not what the election's about. The election is about kitchen table issues. And meanwhile, what Republicans are doing is throwing people off of food stamps and Medicaid. I don't know why you guys think that's going to help you. I don't know why you think people are illegal immigrants.
They don't have it. I'm asking very specific. This is their stated position.
It's
Public
the DSA. Wait, Sean, it is the DSA
Your
national
friend
platform.
Kami Mamdani.
It's not these individual candidates. They've all said they differ from that platform.
But most of them are now proud members of the DSA. And this is the problem. You want to, look, I'm going to actually give you a compliment. You are better at hiding this radicalism that they stand for than they are. And you're a lot smarter than they are. To be very blunt, you're a better politician than they are. But they put it in writing. And this is now 250 members around the country that are part of your Democratic Party that hold these hardcore beliefs.
Why do you think they're winning?
You are spinning.
Why do you think
in
Midwestern states these folks are winning? Because they're talking about the economic issues people care about, and they're not beholden to the special interests. They're not beholden to the special interests. They're not beholden to the big donors and the billionaires. That's why they're winning, and that's why they're going to win in the general election, too.
Well, let me ask you this.
These folks are going to win in November.
So you think cisgender Tallarico, who believes God is non-binary, that believes biological men should play women's sports, and believes that biological men should have access to abortion.
Did you read your own poll today where Tallarico's beating Paxton?
Okay, I don't believe it for 2 seconds.
Oh, I absolutely.
Just like, and by the way, how do you feel about a party that supported a guy with a Nazi tattoo, that called an American soldier, said he didn't deserve to live,
okay, so
that taunted a girl that was threatening suicide,
Sean,
that was called out? I mean, your party supported him till the end. Nobody spoke out against him.
Here's what's changing. Sean, here's what's changing. The Democratic Party is actually finding dynamic progressive candidates who are talking about economic issues. Look at Tallarico. Tallarico is reaching out across the spectrum in Texas, across the spectrum politically in Texas. He's a seminarian. He's a guy who talks about faith all the time, but also talks about economic populism. Paxton, for God's sakes, is a moral train wreck.
Okay,
so
then
the Democrats actually are finding the kind of
candidates
that you would have been worried about a long time ago.
I want to give you money. I will donate money to the charity of your choice. He says there are 6 genders. I can name 2. Would you like to tell me the other 4?
I want to take the bet on who wins that Senate race.
Will you tell me the other 4?
I want to take the bet. You want to take a bet on who wins the Senate race?
I'll take that bet later. What are the other 4 genders? And if God is non-binary, as a Christian, and my faith is very important to me, all these years, the Lord's Prayer started with Our Father.
Yeah, but Sean, that's not what people are voting on. They're voting on what's happening to their families,
what your candidates
and they can't make ends meet. No. When you listen to a guy like Tallarico, he is going after billionaires. He's saying they're not paying their fair share of taxes.
After billionaires.
He is talking about common sense kitchen table issues, which his opponent isn't. This is the worst nightmare for Republicans, that Democrats actually get their act together and talk about the kitchen table.
Listen, I'm telling you, when you lose James Carville and Bill Maher, and you lose Mark Penn, who was just on, and John Fetterman and Joe Manchin, I'm telling you, it's a canary in the coal mine. You are looking at Democratic primaries, and you are applying it to a general election.
I am telling you, you're going to see a whole generation.
Mike Rogers will be elected.
Nope.
I'll take this bet.
Tonight is Michigan. You're going to see a whole generation of young voters.
Will be the next senator from the great state of Michigan.
Young voters are going to change these elections.
How much?
You're going to be surprised, and they're going to be with the Democrats.
I'll be surprised, but it's not going to happen.
But I'll meet you in New York anytime.
I will donate. We'll talk privately about the bet. All right. I can't even call you comrade anymore because you do a better job spinning out of the crap they spew than they do. Anyway, we appreciate you. Thank you.